Splitgate was one of the few games in a very long time that changed the way that FPS games worked. Not only did they add a lot of the main shooting mechanics from games like Halo, but they added kind of the boots on the ground feel that you get from a Call of Duty, kind of making this perfect baby, where they also created this very unique mechanic where you can create portals like the Portal games from Portal 1 and Portal 2, where you can put a portal here and put a portal here and basically walk through them to cut distance on a map, I guess you could say. And Splitgate was an overall really good game, but it ended up failing for a lot of different reasons. If you had to ask me personally, as someone who played Splitgate, why I think it didn't fail because Halo got released around that time or because it was just an overall bad game, but it got released because there just wasn't content for the game. There wasn't anything to look forward to. There was nothing to grind for. There was nothing to really do in the game besides to just play the base game modes and to level up or buy skins from the shop. And for me personally, when I play any FPS game, it's just not fun, in my opinion, to play like that. So if you look at games like, let's say, Fortnite, Halo 3 ODST, or Rainbow Six Siege, or Call of Duty, and all of those games that are successful as FPS games, every single one has something to look forward to. You level up, yes, but as you level up, you can play different game modes, you can do certain custom games, you can do like mini tournaments with your friends, there's funny game modes with your friends, and on top of that, you can grind to get free skins in the game too. And I don't mean like, oh, there's some crummy free skin that, you don't really care for. I mean like you can grind and get some really cool skins. You can get skins that like show that you worked hard and you played the game. And I think that's one of the big things that makes all those other games so successful and didn't make Splitgate 1 so successful, because in games like Splitgate or any new game coming out for that matter, the game is made in the first month to the first 2 months of the game being released. And Splitgate was extremely popular as people really enjoyed it, but since they weren't really adding anything to the game, after about a month, the game got very stale and very stagnant. You might be saying, well, why are you talking about Splitgate 1? I thought this was a Splitgate 2 video, but they go very, very hand in hand. So in Splitgate 2, a lot of people are starting to become outraged over the game. Obviously, the game is very similar to Splitgate 1 in the way where it's a fun game. It is. The teleport mechanic is cool, the gun mechanics are pretty cool. I think that maybe the hit reg could be like a little bit more accurate, but I think it's accurate enough where it's pretty fun, and just the wacky stuff you can do around the map with the teleporting is always fun as well. But the things that are really destroying Splitgate or Splitgate 2 at this current point in time is one, obviously a lot of the community doesn't want to try Splitgate 2 because they already tried Splitgate 1 and they didn't like the first one, which I think is, fair in itself, but that you have to figure out how, as a company, how to bring in new players. And the way that they're doing it, in my opinion, is just like really, really bad. So let me open this up here for you guys, and we'll kind of go through it a little bit. So if we look here, this is Splitgate 2. They have a few different game modes. They have Hot Zone, Team Deathmatch, Takedown, Onslaught, Battle Royale, and the Lab. Now, starting from the top, Hot Zone, automatically I go, wow, don't want to play that. And I'm just not going to lie, the reason I don't want to play that is because I don't like gimmicks. If I want to play King of the Hill, I want to play King of the Hill. I don't want to play King of the Hill with like this extra gimmick where respawn times increase over time unless eliminations happen. Like, this is a fast-paced game, right? It's very similar to Call of Duty or Halo. So if I'm playing King of the Hill, I do not want to wait any more than, let's say, maximum 6 seconds to respawn. If it is over 6 seconds, I will slowly get bored of playing King of the Hill very, very quickly. Next up on the list, we have Team Deathmatch. Now, normal Team Deathmatch, but with round-based twists. Guys, you don't need to add a twist to every single thing. It's okay to just copy a game mode. Like, I think companies today think that they can't use any old game modes because, they need to be super unique in their way. What makes Splitgate unique is the portal to portal combat with the Halo like mechanics. That's what makes Splitgate super unique and very fun. And the fact that there's kind of this like omni movement almost to the game, it makes it very fast paced. So every time you slow down something by adding extra rounds, adding extra time on death, like you are instantly just losing players from the game because every single time they get eliminated, they get bored. We'll go to takedown next. A twist on team deathmatch where kills make respawns faster for your team while deaths slow them down. Take this out of the game. This does not need to be a game mode. I genuinely think if I loaded up the game and I saw Hot Zone Team Deathmatch, Takedown, Onslaught, and Battle Royale, I would probably only ever play Team Deathmatch or Onslaught. And that's just 100% like truthful. Takedown is a useless game mode. Take it out of the game, replace it with something better. And I'll get into some stuff that I think would be better than these here in a second. Next up, we have Onslaught. Larger maps with 24-player gameplay offering a more chaotic experience. Is this just like free for all? Yeah, like I'm assuming this is just free for all. Um okay, I'm not reading a 40-minute article. No, I exited out of it. But yeah, so it's just a very strange way, at least in my opinion, to make game modes where the game modes just have twists, but they're default game modes. Just keep them as default game modes and take takedown out of the game, or rename it to takeout because it shouldn't be in the game. And the battle royale, not every game needs a battle royale. Now, do I think the battle royale could probably be really fun? Yeah, 100%. But Splitgate, in my opinion, is one of those games that I can't imagine having a battle royale very similar to Halo, where I just can't imagine why the game would need it. If you want my personal opinion, this is what I would do for Splitgate. I would make real King of the Hill. It's just a default King of the Hill. And you make it like a lot of points. You make it like 500 points or something like that. Like some crazy. So the matches are long, but it's just like teleport chaos like everywhere. That's fun. Then you do team deathmatch, regular team deathmatch. You don't add a gimmick to it. There's no rounds. It's just one team versus the other team. That is it. You don't add this like slowness to team deathmatch. You then have a just pure free for all in the game, just a complete free for all. And this is where we get into the more advanced game modes. If you guys remember Uplink from Advanced Warfare, that's what I would add. I would add a uplink from Advanced Warfare where there is hoops on each side of the map. Your team always spawns on their side, and it's a difficult game mode. You make it where you score points by shooting a ball into a hoop, and you put the hoop very high up on like a platform. And the only way to get to that platform is to either TP up to it, or you have to literally sink it in from a distance, and you don't make any platforms like above the hoop, so you can't open a portal and like throw it through a portal to get into the hoop. You physically have to go up there or dunk it yourself. And what you do is the person carrying the ball just wouldn't be allowed to basically like open any portals. They wouldn't be allowed to use their gun or open any portals. That'd be a W game mode. And you add that to ranked, and then you add a capture the flag to ranked as well. And there you go. I just like made your game a million times better. I'm just sorry to say that people enjoy those game modes. Those are fun. They're interactive. They make you strategize. They make you communicate with your team. It's just enjoyable game modes. And then you add the ability to where kind of like ranked in most games where when you hit like ranked in siege you get like a badge, right? You get a badge you can put on your gun. Just add that to ranked. Literally put a ranked mode in where when you rank up, you get badges, you can put them on your gun to like flex essentially, and then add like a custom skin for each rank for like whatever the primary gun, like the most used gun in the game is, or you can just make it like a universal skin, something simple. That way, every single what you could do is do seasons, and every single season, people would have something to work towards for a new rank, new skin, and they would play ranked like all the time. But with your current like with their current game modes, I just could never imagine like me wanting to play the game in its current state and time because it would feel too much like Splitgate 1 where there's just nothing to work towards because in my opinion grinding out like a battle pass just isn't fun. Like I don't want to grind out a battle pass. I want to grind out like a rank. I want to grind out cool game modes. I want to get like good at a game because like I'm like, man, these game modes are fun and I think it'd be cool to play these game modes. I will say there also looks to be some sort of disconnect between the CEO and the actual company, which I think is a little weird. I'll show you guys that now.
And I said, Derek, like, did you know we had an $80 bundle? Like, this is news to me. Like, what the heck? Like, that makes no sense. And he didn't. And essentially what happened is our former head of monetization, who happened to come from Call of Duty, was with us for less than a year and was very aggressive on the pricing. And so actually prior to his departure, we actually originally had founders packs.
I think something like this is just a little bit strange, at least in my personal opinion, that your own CEO wouldn't know your monetization methods and the price of them, being that you think the CEO would have to sit through some sort of meeting about the pricing that they plan to do on the game. And with that being said, as well, if you want to buy the entire full version of the game, it is $100 right now at Steam. So I think it went up from that video, which is kind of crazy as well. Although you can play Splitgate 2 for free. I do want to preference this is I'm not saying Splitgate 2 is a bad game. I'm not saying Splitgate is a bad game at all. I'm just saying that they need to start figuring out the future of the game before the game takes the same road as Splitgate 1. I think Fortnite is probably the best example, right? OG season of Fortnite, really fun. Next season of Fortnite, really fun. But they realized the loops were getting old. So they were like, okay, we're going to start changing the map. We're going to start adding wacky skins in, wacky mechanics. And that's what made Fortnite keep going even after the base mechanics got old. But that's really all I wanted to rant about today was Splitgate 2 and what I believe could basically make the game overall better. Let me know what you guys think about Splitgate 2 in the comments below. And besides that, thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful night. Peace.